So I had given you guys, few questions to work upon. Let me know if you guys have any questions from those topics or those assignment that I gave.
Yeah, Pratik.
Actually, there is one question number 8, wherein the
Yes,
top
same.
function is not working, and I googled and I got a response from someone that they're saying that the top function doesn't work in MySQL.
That is the reason why we have limit.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Limit, yeah. That's, I mean, we discussed, right, that we sort the data, and then we had, I think, healthy discussion on it last time, right? Top here is limit ordered by a particular column, right?
Okay. So can you do this question for me using limit?
Yeah, I mean, can you just copy paste? I mean, I can go to the queries and I can check, but specifically, what was the question?
The question was,
I guess top 10% scoring girls.
yeah, in maths.
Yeah, I have also the same query.
That was the question I was stuck on only.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. So what we will do is we will learn one small concept here. Okay, I'm using this database, school_db. Okay, I will do it first, manually. What is the meaning of top 10%? Top 10% means that if there are 100 students in 100 girls in a class, right? Then we want top 10 girls in terms of, let's say, math score. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Right?
Yes.
So top 10, right? Out of, let's say there are 30 people in this batch, I want top 10%, meaning top 3 students. Yeah?
Top 3%. 3%.
Yeah, top 3%, right? Now, couple of ways that we can do this query, right? One is we find out how many people are there in this. Let's say if we write from student,
Well,
from students where sex is to F, and also we write, let's say, ID, full name, sex, mtest, and then if we write row number, right? Row number over
ID
test, over order by mtest descending, right? And let's call this as RNO. So RNO total is 5, isn't it? Yeah. Now if we write from where, what do we write, guys?
Row number is equal to,
where RNO is less than equals to what?
10% of. 10% of 5.
10% of 5. Now the problem is this 5. How do we get this 5?
Count of I don't know.
So we
count
have
of R.
assigned range R number.
Huh?
We have assigned R number, so it's ranking we have given.
The row number it is giving, yeah.
So we can assign like 10% to the R number.
That's what 10% of what?
10% of total.
And how do we get total?
Some column, M test.
So if you're going to use one of the group functions in the where clause, then you can't use where clause then, right? Because none of the group functions work in where clause. Suppose if you write where RNO is less than count of RNO into 0.1.
Okay.
Look at this. What we are doing is, guys, and maybe I should rank. That'll be easier. That'll make it foolproof actually. Did you understand what is happening here? Here, what we have done is we have assigned rank to each person, right? And we've called it as RNO. I mean, each girl actually, not each person, each girl, right? Then we said that where, I mean, using a common table expression here, having RNO, this one, having RNO less than equals to ceiling. Ceiling meaning, what does the ceil function do, guys?
Next absolute.
Next
Whole number, right? So the next whole number. So, you know, I mean, let's say RNO, we know that count of RNO will give you 5, right? As we saw earlier. And we multiplied with 0.1 because we want 10% of it. But that 0.1 multiplied by 5 will give you 0.5. Isn't it?
Right.
And then we are using ceil to round it up to the nearest whole number, I mean, to the next whole number, which is in this case 1. Right? So then RNO is less than equals to 1. I get a point. Which essentially means the top 10 rank holder in this case would be the person who's got the first rank. And why did we have to use having here and not where?
We are using aggregate function since
Yes, we are using
Because we
I
are
don't
using
know.
count
I
function.
don't know. We are using
Because we have used the count function, which is an aggregate function which can't go with where condition.
Yes.
If I try and use where here, you will get an error. Does it make sense?
Yes, Pratik.
Nothing new we applied here, nothing new. The only thing is we have creatively used whatever we have learned. Clear, guys?
Oh, Pratik, is there any other way around to do the same query? Is there any other logic?
Well, there is a concept that, you know, I mean, in an advanced SQL query writing we use called as a user-defined variable. You guys, you did a VBA class with us, right?
Yes.
In that VBA class, you must have learned a concept called as variable,
Right.
right? And so what is a variable in VBA?
Anything which can, the value can be assigned and changed
Right.
later on.
So a temporary storage, right, which can be used later in the query, I mean later in the code, isn't it? Right? So here, suppose to find the total number of girls, right, suppose which is 5, and if I assign this 5, and this is the assignment operator in SQL, we assign this value 5 to, let's say, at the rate total girls. This total girls at the rate total girls is a user-defined variable, UDV. In SQL, all the user-defined variables start with at the rate, which is a temporary storage. Meaning, if I close this session with the database server, this doesn't get stored anywhere. It is just temporarily there in the memory. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, guys? So I can create a user-defined variable with the help of at the rate and then any text name that you want to give, and I can assign a value to that user-defined variable with the help of colon equals to. So this is called as assignment operator. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, guys? So if I say at the rate set at the rate total girls colon equals to under bracket select count star from students where sex equal to F. What do you think will happen?
It will give a total girls as 5.
So what would happen is it will create this user-defined variable at the rate total girls, and it will assign, because of this assignment operator, it will assign the value of this query into this total girls, which is a temporary storage variable, right? And then in this query, right, where we use this, we can then write so we got this here. Do you see this, guys?
Yes, Pratik. So, Pratik, is it for one-time use only?
No, you can use it in the same session, same connection session. Session meaning, you see, when I go to a website and when I open this link, and if I go anywhere, right? So that is a session that I have established with this website. If I close this session, right, then that session is over. So that means the connection that I've established with the database server, right?
Okay.
If I close this connection, then this variable will go away.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
So Pratik, does MySQL also support top keyword just like limit?
No, not MySQL. MySQL doesn't support top keyword. However, it has much more powerful thing, which is limit. Gunjan. Top is there in Microsoft databases only. SQL Server and Microsoft Access. All the other databases, database management softwares, they do not support top. They all have limit.
Okay.
Clear, guys?
Yes, Pratik.
One more method, huh? Let's look at this. Since we spoke about user-defined variable. I mean, I didn't want to cover this. Normally, I covered this topic in my advanced SQL class, but since you guys have accepted it, so let me just take this liberty and explain you one more way that I would do the same query. Let's say I would write row index colon equals to 0. So what am I doing? I'm creating a new user-defined variable, isn't it? And then look at this, and I've assigned 0 value to that. From students, the name of the table, where successor to F. Order by MTest in descending. Sandeep, can you go on mute, please? So ID full name mtex x at the rate row index assigned to row index plus 1 as, let's say, RNO. Suppose if I run this query.
Sequence number?
Yeah, it's a sequence number only. I've run this query. And then after running this query, if I say select at the rate row index, what value will I get? What value will I get?
Five. The last one.
So I'll get 5. Isn't it? Because it is incremented to 5, isn't it? And 5 is what? 5 is also the total number of girls, right? So in that case, instead of creating a separate variable for total girls, what I could have done is I'm not using any window function also, where RNO is less than equals to what? Less than equals to what? Seal of at the rate row index multiplied by 0.1. Do you guys understand this?
No, Pratik, can you explain again?
See, first, what I'm doing is, Sanjeev, that I've created a user-defined variable called as row index, and I've assigned 0 to it. That much you understood?
You have assigned a row that is a row index which initial as 0, right?
Yes, initial value is 0,
Yeah.
right? Then in this inner query, I'm incrementing it by 1 for every girl student, which is ordered by MTest in descending order. I get a point, Sanjay.
Okay.
So
So
by
it
the end
will.
of this,
Yeah. Carry on.
so by the end of this query, this row index would have increased to what? The total number of girls, right?
Okay. Okay. So is it repeating? I mean, how is it like incrementing every time?
How is it what?
Incrementing.
How is it incrementing? It
Yeah.
is incrementing for each row, no? If there are 5 girls, for the first girl, it will increment by 1. So since it was 0 initially, so it will become 1.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Then become 2, then become 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, it will increment till there's a end to the all rows, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, got it now. Fine.
Is it making sense, everybody?
Pratik, could you please re-explain what was the question fifth was about?
Sorry.
What was the question fifth on this assessment? What was the fifth question fifth was asking for?
Can you tell me the question?
Yes, the question says list the 1B students by their residential district.
Just like district, comma, student name. That's it.
That's it with the where clause 1B.
Yeah, with the where clause 1B.
Okay.
The only thing is, it will be ordered.
Yeah, it will be ordered.
It will be ordered. It will be ordered by their name. I mean, it will be ordered by the district and then the name.
Pratik, I also have I have one small query in question number 2, where it says list the max and min number a test score of class 1 students of each district.
Ha.
Like what the question says, in a single table we want max and min score, right?
Mhm.
Okay, that was done, but when I was doing it individually and was putting a select full name also along with the district code, class and max thing, then the
It's not,
others-
you see, the question was for each district, right?
yes.
Yeah. So you see, and it says the number of students, right, Sanjeev?
Yeah.
So if you think about it, one district, let's say the district name is HWH,
Yes.
and there is a district called as YMT. Now
Yeah.
this, let's say, has 20 students, this has 30 students. And if
Mhm.
you try and print full name here, whose full name will it print?
Yeah. So it will give a wrong
There
result,
are
right?
20 people. It will give you the first full name, which is wrong actually. So here we are
Yes.
grouping the data by this decode column.
Mhm.
Then only print decode, Sanjeev.
Yeah, got it. Now I got it. What actually I did what you are saying, but then afterwards I removed full name, then the result was there. Thank you.
So Pratik, Naveen here. I did not attempt at one question, that was 11th. How many dumps and scholar students are there in the table? Scholar criteria, I'm test greater than 95. Everyone else is dumb.
So if you notice, Naveen, how do you know somebody is dumb or somebody is scholar? The criteria was mentioned, right?
Criteria is, yeah.
The criteria was that on the basis of the MTest score, let's say if somebody has scored greater than 95, right? Something
Yeah.
like that was given, right?
Yes,
Then
that was
scholar,
scholar.
otherwise dumb.
Dumb.
So here it gives me full name, MTest, and status. I get
So
point, Naveen.
actually, it was asking for so this till it is, this is fine. However, it was asking how many dumps and scholars, so count has to be there.
Now forget about that query that we wrote here. Just look at this table
Okay.
here. Just look at this table. In this table, suppose if my question to you was, I want to find out how many are dumb and how many are scholar.
Hmm.
Forget about the students table. Just focus on this table. This, let's call this table as status table. Right? So what would you have done? You would
Yeah.
have done select from status table.
Yeah. Where
Group
status
by
equal to dump.
group by what column?
We need to group by dump the status.
Group by status. And while selecting, you would have selected status, comma.
Count.
Count.
You understand what I'm saying, Naveen?
Yeah. Understood.
Pratik, what if we have to do this with as case? When can we use it?
Yes, and yes. Yeah, you can.
Can you show?
I mean,
Because
case and
I didn't get the result with the case, but if it
So with
was
case, it has to be, I mean, then after that, it's going to be else.
okay, Pratik, I know I did the same, but I don't know how it didn't work. But it worked with if, but not this. I'll try again. No problem.
If you would have written, if you've forgotten to write and, it would not work.
Okay.
If you've forgotten to write else also, it will not work. Case,
Yeah.
when, else, and.
Yes. I tried all these four, but I'll try again. Maybe
Yeah.
some
Try
comma,
that.
some.
Will work.
Yeah.
Anyway, coming back to this thing. So this, from on top of this, you'll use common table expression. Let's call this as status table. Group by status, and then select status, comma, count star. I get a point.
Yes, Pratik.
Yes,
Yeah.
Pratik.
Look at this, huh, guys? Look at this. I could have done the same in a little more interesting fashion. Sum of, if of m-test is greater than 95, then return 1, otherwise 0. Oh, sorry. Group by, if m-test is greater than 95, then scholar, otherwise dumb, right? And the same thing, this as status, comma, this also can be done. I get the point.
Yeah.
Anyway, any other question, guys?
Pratik, on your question number 10, can we do that query without using CT approach?
Without using CT approach, which question number 10 you have to tell me the
Question
question?
is, how many students have unique names? How many?
Nahi. You'll have to use CT there. Or a
Can't we use distinct or something like that?
distinct will actually give you different names, Shweta. Let's say if there are two Shwetas, then Shweta is not a unique name, but distinct will still show you Shweta.
Okay,
Unique is a
understood.
name which occurs only once.
Okay, so I was going to read that common expression table, and I used distinct as well and other way as well, and the Rupa was missing. So understood that. That's why I'm waiting. Okay, understood.
Pratik, what is the best method to find the second highest or third highest?
Best method to find second or third highest, in my opinion, is I mean, if you use window function, then of course it's easy. I mean, it's going to be fast also. There's no problem there. So we can write second highest. For second highest, we have a function called as dense rank. I mean, nth highest, dense rank over order by mtest descending as nth highest, right? So this will give you the nth highest, and the name of that field is nth highest, and then you can use common table expression as temp table, where nth highest is equals to 2. Gunjan.
Right, and can we go apply this method as well? Like select the IDs or name from the student, order by the test, and then in the descending order by test, descending limit 1,1.
Yeah, so that's the next method that I would explain you. You see, what happens is, suppose if I write suppose here if I write limit 2, what this will end up doing is, and it was for girls, right? Second highest girl, if I remember, huh, Naveen?
No, Pradeep, it was
no,
a
second
No,
highest
no.
scorer in math.
Acha, second highest.
I've also used the limit wala ways. Second, I haven't used the first
So
one.
if you do this, then you get this value. The first two rows after sorting the data in descending order by mtest, right? But the problem here is that what if there are 3 people who got 99? Then all of them are second highest scorer. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, guys?
Yes.
No, so I have not used limit 2. I what I've done is 1,1. It will give me only one result with the one descending.
Yeah. So see, what happens is, what they're talking about is limit n comma m. Here, n basically means ignore n rows and then show m rows. Ignore the first n rows and then show the next m rows. What I mean to say here is that if I write 1, 2, that means ignore the first row and then show the next 2 rows. Ignore the first row, then show the next 2 rows, and see here. If I write 3, ignore the first row and then show the next 3 rows. I get the point. Now, if I write, look at this, huh? If I write only mtest and if I don't limit it, it shows me 100, 99, 99, 98, 98, 98 again, 95, 95, so on so forth. So it's showing me repeated data, isn't it? And what if I want different data, distinct data? So distinct mtest, right? This will show me the distinct mtest, like 100, then 99, then 98, only once.
Correct.
Right? And we know that this is the second highest because now this is distinct. We are very, very sure. I get the point. Now, if I say here, limit 1 comma 1, meaning ignore the first row. That means ignore which row from here?
100.
100.
Ignore 100, ignore all these as well, and just show this. Ignore this many row and then show this much. This much meaning this row. So the answer here will be 99. Do you see this, guys?
So you mean to say this is the second way to do the same query?
This
No.
is the no. This gives you second highest.
So Pratik, we also have a question where you asked the fourth lowest scorer.
I'm
Can
coming,
we?
I'm coming to it. So this gives you second lowest score, not the scorer's name. To get the scorer's name, we will write from students where mtest is equals to these are the folks who are second highest scorers. Did you understand this, guys? Did you understand? Creative, clever use of things. Select distinct mtest from students order by mtest descending limit 1 comma 1. Now, this is very versatile. If you are looking for third highest, what would we do? What change will we do in this query?
One comma two.
Limit.
No,
No,
ulta.
2 comma. 2 comma.
2 comma.
No,
Two ignore.
opposite.
Yeah, 2 ignore and 1. Yeah.
I get a point. Clear?
Yes.
Any questions, anybody?
The final question is about the same, the fourth lowest.
So you tell me, no. Instead of DSC, you'll make it ASC, and then you'll ignore 3, and then you'll give the 1.
Right.
Did you get it, Ankita?
Yeah, actually, Pratik, what I was doing this question and I was getting an error. So basically what happened, I'd run exactly the same way that we write common table expression, and then I used rank before from, and then I was getting a error because I was unable to use where and also having, because when I was using having, it was giving me an error that you cannot use window function with having. So I think
Having you use karoge yahan pe, there is no point using have.
no, actually I was using the common table expression. So if you can give me a minute, I can show what I was doing.
See, this is also common table expression, Ankita.
But I was doing
What?
it in other way, like the way you are doing. I didn't use dense rank or something like that. I simply used rank, and that too before from. I think I confused myself. So I'll try this question again. But yeah, I got your point. You're right. I'll use limit.
Good. Very good. By the way, guys, these, if you were interviewing somebody for SQL, data analyst position, these are the typical questions that anybody would ask. And it's like this, if you Google, you'll find the same set of questions, but I tell you how many people go wrong in the interviews.
So Pratik, here you did 3 comma 1. So that's for fourth highest, not the fourth
Fourth
lowest.
lowest, because ASC.
Okay, as you have changed, yes.
All right, guys. In the last class, I I've given you guys one topic to read up upon, text functions. Yes, everybody?
Yes, Pratik.
Pratik.
The limit will be inside. This is Ankita. This is all ulta. I think now you've understood, right?
Yes, now I've
And why
understood.
would you group it by ID? Grouping
Because
by
if,
ID doesn't make sense.
but because if I was not grouping it by ID, then it was not, working on Rupa. So I
No.
wanted all of them.
No, you do not. Anyway, now I think you understood.
Yep.
All right, so folks, in the last class, I had given you guys one small thing to do, which was to read up on text functions. Yeah, and I had given you guys some scripts as well on text functions, right? Now, I know that some of the folks might not have done it. Yeah. So,
Yes, Pratik.
yeah, I understand a lot of folks would not have done it. But text functions are extremely important, guys. So let's look into some of the text functions right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Text functions are functions whereby we, we clean the data, or you see, whenever we import or export data from one database to a reporting tool, or from a reporting tool to a database, basically whenever we import or export the data from one system to another system, one software to another software, there is a possibility that the data gets dirty. Dirty meaning, if you remember, when we were importing the DOB field, the date of birth field, into MySQL, then we had a problem with the date data type. We had a problem with applicant income as well because of the comma. And so we had, various these little problems, for which we had to use some of the text functions, some of the transformation text functions to transform the data. If you remember, we used string to date. If you remember, we used left function. So these are all text functions which help you to extract characters from within within a field, merge characters, concatenate characters, demerge characters, and so on. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, guys?
Yes, Pratik.
You know. So, having said that, what I have done is that I have categorized the text functions into formatting related things, then into extracting characters related functions, finding position of a character or a string in another string, and replacing or substituting characters with other strings, right? By the way, a lot of these text functions are similar to the text function that you might have seen in Excel. Okay, or if you were to do it in Power BI or Python, anywhere, the text functions more or less largely remain the same. So let's look at some of these text functions. Suppose if I have used this, select trim. Trim is one of the text functions which helps us remove the spaces from the beginning of a text string and removes the spaces from the end of the text string. So here, there are these extra spaces which we do not want. There are these extra spaces which again we do not want. If there is space in between the characters, sorry, in between the words, they will not be removed. They will not be trimmed. Do you see this, guys? So trim is a very nifty, nice function. Now, locate function. Locate helps you finds the position, the start position of a character or a string in another larger string. Meaning, here, what are we locating? In Pratik Agarwal, what are we locating?
Space.
So we are trying to find the position of space, start position of space in Pratik space Agarwal. And this one basically means start looking for this character, which is space, in this string from the first position onwards, from here to here. If I write 2, that means it will start looking for space from R onwards. If I like 3, then it'll start looking for space from A onwards. Do you understand? But the calculation will always be from the beginning. So suppose if I run this statement, what value will I get? So position of space is 8, 7 characters for Pratik and then space. So this gives me 8. And let's say if I'm looking for IV, start position of IV in this IV Pro School from the beginning, from one meaning from the first character onwards in IV Pro School. So what will I get?
Will you get 1?
I will get 1. Got it?
If we find A in Pratik Agarwal, what we will get?
A,
Right.
you will get 3.
Okay, it will start
Pratik,
from first and
More
If
or
you look
less
for-
mid function.
So
Find
Prat-
function.
No, it's not mid function. It is find function in Excel.
Find function. Yeah, find function.
Not more or less. It's exactly as same. Find function. The only thing is locate is not case sensitive.
so Pratik, IV is a word, right? So it will give, it will locate the first character place, right?
Start position of IV in IV Pro School.
Okay.
That is why I said it finds the start position of character or string in another string.
Right.
So suppose if I were to do this question, find the position of first A in the name column of the customer profile database. In the customers table, you have name, right? So it'll be from customers. What should I write here? What should I write?
Locate A. And then
Locate A in name, comma 1. Got it? Display the customer's entire name but the last character. Oh well, I will give you these questions to work upon. Display the entire name but the last character.
What does that mean?
Name,
Entire name, but the last character.
okay, let me explain you a couple of more functions, then we will do these questions. That's what I was wondering. Why did they come early? Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry, my bad.
We can
let's
also
talk
find
about-
len. Len
Yeah.
in this.
We will talk about a couple of more functions here. Len we will talk about, which helps you find the total number of characters. Then we will talk about left function, right function, mid function. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about these functions. Then we will go to those questions. So what len will do is total characters.
Including space?
Sorry, len. Len is in Excel. Len is there in Excel, including space, always including space. Space is always counted as a character. Got it? Then we have, what do you think the left function will do, guys?
returns the number of character given the positions.
First
From
three.
left, yeah.
From the beginning, the first 3 characters. Got it? And what will this do?
last two
characters.
Last character.
Last two.
And mid. With mid, you have the flexibility to see from which position you want to start the extraction. So let's say if I write 3, 2, this means 2 characters from
From third position.
third position. Got it? Now, look at this, huh? Find the last name from Pratik Agrawal. Let's say from Zoe Agrawal. Let's say. So this, if I write, it gives me Zoe Agrawal. Now, if I want to find the last name from here, let's say first and last name. Let's say first find the first name. So you will say use the left function.
Yeah, yes.
And then you'll say, what should I write in number of characters?
4.
Locate space.
Yeah, locate space, yes.
Locate the space.
Wherever space.
Write manually. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Everybody. We are locating the space in Zoe Agrawal and then -1. Do you understand why I did -1?
Yes, it will count space also.
Yeah, otherwise it'll extract the space as well. Clear, guys? How about the last name?
Right function.
Right.
By the way, using mid also you can assign, you can extract this. See, in mid, you'll have to put from which position you want to start the extraction. So let's say
Locate
I
space.
say locate space in Zoe Agrawal from the first position plus, oh sorry, minus, no, not locate. From first position, and the total number of characters that I want to extract is this -1. You understand? Because in mid text, and then the start position, and then the number of characters that you want to extract.
Why we have written Zoe, 1 minus 1 locate?
But Pratik,
will be-
aren't we supposed to extract the last name only? It's provided mid comma 1, we are extracting from Joy itself, Z itself.
Sorry, what was the question you said?
I suppose this mid function is extracting from Z itself, not the
From
last name.
first position.
But we were supposed to separate the last name. I mean, extract the last name.
Coming. I wanted to show you that you can also use mid function to extract the first name.
Okay.
And then how do we extract the last name using right function, guys?
Can we use locate here?
Okay, so you're still use locate.
Yeah, space.
In
yes,
Zoe. Mine is like 1.
But what is the position of space in Zoe, Sanjit?
It's 5.
5. So it will give you 5 characters from the right hand side, isn't it?
Yeah. So we can.
So it gives me Raval.
Okay. So can't we use anything that goes directly in the space and then?
Length minus locate would work, I believe.
Whoever said that, good job. Interesting.
Yeah.
total number of characters in Zoe Agrawal, total number of characters minus the position of space will give me the number of characters remaining in the last name.
Yes.
I get a point. Clear, guys?
Yes, Pratik.
Pratik, can you repeat it one more time, please?
Yeah, see.
So Pratik, can this be done for the first name also?
No, for
Like-
the first name, it's straightforward because you know the locate also calculates from the beginning.
Okay.
And extract from the beginning.
Yes. Okay.
All right, guys. Today I have a hard stop at 3 p.m. Sorry, I have a another workshop that I'm starting today. So I'll have to stop here. But you know, please, guys, I've uploaded the text function scripts in the LMS as well. Please do try to work on these scripts, guys. Okay.
Yes, Pratik.
Yeah.
Yes, Pratik.
Okay, Pratik.
There are just a few questions given in this. Okay, just a few questions. 4 questions given. Only 4 questions. Please try to do those 4 questions, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Pratik.
Thank you,
everyone.
Pratik. Nice class.
Okay, Pratik.
You were right that this will become interesting.